Right now at 5, we've talked a lot about bus rapid transit. Well, today it's here. We'll walk you through how it works with a live report from a BRT stop. Also, police with a man in custody after several windows are smashed in apparent vandalism spree on State Street. We'll take a closer look at the damage left behind. And they're fighting again in Washington about how to fund the government. The latest plans to fend off yet another government shutdown. You're watching News 3 Now at 5. And we do have some breaking news at 5. Former President Donald Trump coming to Wisconsin this Saturday. The Trump campaign says he'll be at the Prairie du Chien Area Arts Center on Crawford Street. 11:30 in the morning Saturday. Doors will open at 8:30. The former president plans to talk about immigration and border security. For information on tickets, you can head to event.donaldjtrump.com. Madison's new bus rapid transit system. The routes are in service today. That new system launched yesterday, but this is the first day that students and workers in Madison will be using it for their daily commutes. Our Maddie Heims joins us live from one of the stops to break down what you need to know. Maddie?
Hey, Eric. Yeah, I'm at the High Point bus stop with what everyone needs to know before they get on the rapid transit bus. And when I say at the bus stop, I mean quite literally in the middle of the road. So that's the first thing you need to know is the stops are now kind of in the median. So you cross the crosswalk to get here. And when you get to your stops, you can see what buses are coming next up at one of those screens. They have where that's going and how close it is to you. And then right over here, we have the fast fare ticket machine where you can get your card and reload it. Just one of these tickets that you tap to get on the bus. We'll have a little more on this later, but for now, I'm going to toss a map up on your screen. It's Rapid Route A that's in service today. It's that red line that goes from Junction Road to the Sun Prairie Park and Ride. I talked to one UW student who was taking the bus today. This was around noon, and here's some of his thoughts after riding it for the first time.
It's faster and more convenient. So has a screen to remind the time the bus gonna come.
How long was your ride this morning?
Around 25 minutes. I think it's gonna be shorter than before.
Yeah, and like you said, the rides launched yesterday, but of course today being Monday, it's kind of the first day that workers, students, everyone in Madison is going to be using this on their daily commute. So to see how everyone's holding up, our Meryl Hubbard is driving around right now. She's avoiding those red lanes, trying to see where you can go, where you can't go. So I'm going to toss it over to her now, tell you if you're a driver on Madison roads, what do you need to know as these all roll out? Hey, Meryl.
Yeah, hey Maddie, we are on Mineral Point Road, like you said, and we chose this road because it's especially busy. It's a huge part of Route A of the BRT, and you can see here we're driving right by the bus lanes here. This is one of the stations, and there's lots of construction going on, so it really is a lot for people to adjust to. But the one thing that people are confused about most is this checkered part right here. You know, you have to scooch over into the left lane before you turn left and everything, and obviously avoid the only red bus lane. Another thing that we're considering is, you know, we talked to some people at the stations today. They are city workers and they were helping people get on the bus. But for drivers out here, they really don't have the same sort of person to go to, the same point person. They have to learn how to navigate it all on their own. And so Metro Transit and local bus drivers and local driving instructors say that they know it's confusing, but they have some wise words to tell.
You're not supposed to drive in the bus lane, but of course I don't suggest you swerve out in front of another car either.
Metro Transit is giving people wiggle room to adjust to the new norm. So for now, you don't have to worry about getting a ticket if you are by accidentally in the red lane. But right now is probably a good time to get in the habit of staying in the right lane. Now we're going to switch gears and go back to Eric in the studio. Thank you, Eric.
Meryl and Maddie, thanks. Now let's get a look at your first one forecast. Meteorologist Blaze Keller now with what to expect the next few days. Blaze?
Yeah, you know, at least here over the next couple of hours, we're going to be tracking in some light to maybe moderate rain showers coming off the heels of a very rainy 4 days. In fact, within 4 days, we picked up over 5 inches of rain in the Madison area, and that extends to a lot of southern Wisconsin. So our total went from 2/100ths of an inch, and in a matter of 4 days, we are now nearing 5 inches and a quarter of of rain for the month. So very quickly did we switch kind of how September was shaping up to be. And we're continuing to track those isolated light to moderate rain showers tonight. Future track taking us through the rest of this evening with clouds increasing. Farther south and east, you're going to have the better chance for those showers as we head into the early morning hours on Tuesday. Farther north and west, I would say folks in maybe even Iowa, Richland, Crawford, Grant County, Vernon County, Juneau, as well as Adams and Sauk, you might not even see any rain tonight. And that continues into tomorrow as well. That chance for rain mainly hugging the eastern part of our forecast area. Right now, though, we're in the 60s, maybe a few 70s still out there around Janesville. We're headed into the 50s tonight. We're going to track out how the latest tropical system could impact us here coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Blaze, thank you. A man is now in police custody after allegedly smashing the windows at several State Street businesses. Madison police say the damage was discovered about 4 this morning on State Street between West Gorham and West Johnson. The 31-year-old man was found with a brick in his hands, they say, and then arrested. He faces charges of felony damage to property, felony bail jumping, and second-degree recklessly endangering safety. Our News 3 Now crew found 2 businesses. Metric Forest Studio and Little Luxuries were damaged. Metric Forest Studio is set to hold its grand opening ceremony this coming Friday. A 12-year-old from Arizona, that's right, a 12-year-old is facing felony charges after allegedly making threats toward a school in Milwaukee. Police in Buckeye, Arizona, that's just west of Phoenix, were contacted by Milwaukee police after a threat was made toward a Milwaukee school, and the IP address was linked to a home in Buckeye. Police in Buckeye say a 12-year-old girl was spoken to and evidence was found to arrest and book her on felony charges, including making a terroristic threat. The Wisconsin Department of Justice says this is just one of many in a wave of threats made to Wisconsin schools. In fact, there have been roughly 110 of them so far this year. Violent crime and property crime reports have fallen by nearly half in Wisconsin. That's compared to 20 years ago, according to new data from the FBI. This graph will show you from the year 2000 until 2023 and shows you the somewhat steady decline since 2000. Last year, there were 89,260 violent crimes and property crimes reported. That's compared to almost double that in 2003. The FBI doesn't give a reason for the decline, but most other states are also seeing that steady decline in violent and property crime. Well, the potential threat of a government shutdown once again is looming in Washington. Last week, a 6-month funding extension failed to get through the House of Representatives, but Speaker Mike Johnson has another proposal, and he might have support from Democrats. John Lawrence reports.
The U.S. government is running out of time and money simultaneously.
There will not be a shutdown. There's no way that anybody in their right mind up there could allow that to happen.
House Speaker Mike Johnson wants to prevent a shutdown.
Congress has an obligation to fund the government.
And on Sunday, he released a plan that would fund the government until December 20th. It's a limited continuing resolution, or CR, that in addition to funding the government for the next 3 months, includes more money for the Secret Service.
We'll have to review it to make sure it really is a clean CR. But if it is as advertised, it is a positive step forward to solving this problem in a bipartisan way.
Unlike Johnson's funding proposal that failed to get out of the House last week, this plan doesn't include the controversial SAVE Act that focuses on preventing non-citizens from voting, which is already illegal.
The one thing you cannot have is a government shutdown. It would be politically beyond stupid for us to do that right before the election, because certainly we'd get the blame.
House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries issued a statement saying, quote, Congress is now on a bipartisan path to avoid a government shutdown that would hurt everyday Americans. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
And former President Trump previously called for lawmakers to shut down the government if the SAVE Act wasn't passed into law. And new details today in the apparent assassination attempt of former President Trump recently. The man charged in connection with that incident appeared in court this morning, where evidence of a note offering $150,000 to, quote, finish the job was unveiled in front of the jury. Former President Trump released a statement saying that the FBI and DOJ are mishandling and downplaying this second assassination attempt, saying in part, quote, the charges brought against the maniac assassin are a slap on the wrist. Trump continued in the statement, casting doubt on the legal cases he currently faces. Trump's campaign also announced a 3-day tour across Wisconsin with high-profile supporters, stopping in Green Bay, Reedsburg, Waukesha, and several other Wisconsin areas. And neither Trump nor his VP pick, J.D. Vance, will be on that tour. But Republican Party Chair Brian Schimming, former Homeland Security Secretary Chad Wolf, Senate candidate Eric Hovde, and other Republican leaders will be on that tour. Eastside Elementary in Sun Prairie is one of 8 Wisconsin schools to receive a National Blue Ribbon School Award. That award recognizes schools for outstanding academic performance and commitment to closing achievement gaps among diverse student bodies. Eastside Elementary joins just over 350 schools in the entire nation labeled as Blue Ribbon schools. That award is a flag to be displayed in either the school's entryway or on a flagpole. Well, meteorologist Blaise Keller rejoins us next. A complete look at our first one forecast as we get the work week underway. And our series 3 for the People continues. Arman Rahman looks at the impact the conflict between Israel and Hamas may come into play at the voting booth. That's just ahead. And a quick check of the markets to start the week. The Dow Jones adds another record high close, up 61 and change. The Nasdaq adds almost 26. The S&P 500 jumps 16. And we'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now, brought to you by Cardinal Heating and Air Conditioning.
This shouldn't take too long, should it?
I'll have the unit up and running in a jiffy. Oh, sorry, I have to go to the shop. Sorry, I don't have that part either. Sorry, I don't have that part either.
But you said it would be quick. A fully stocked truck can make a huge difference. Call Cardinal.
3 years ago, I had an abortion of a desperately wanted and loved baby. Joan Ballwig wants to ban all abortion, with no exceptions. Not for rape or incest, not to save the mother's life. I know what it's like when women have to make these heartbreaking decisions. The very last person who should have anything to do with it is a politician like Joan Ballwig.
Create your perfect room for entertaining, relaxing, and more with patio enclosures. Right now, get 25% off your sunroom. Plus, enjoy exceptional financing. Call today.
Patio enclosures. Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners.
Surgery.
For prisoners.
For prisoners. Every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access.
It's hard to believe, but it's true. Even the liberal media was shocked Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners and illegal aliens.
Every transgender inmate would have access.
Kamala's for they, them. President Trump is for you.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Eric Hovde is a multimillionaire California bank CEO. But when it comes to our health care, his plans aren't so rich. Hovde says he wants to repeal the Affordable Care Act.
We have to try to defund every aspect of Obamacare,
costing 200,000 Wisconsin families their health care. And Hovde supported policies that will cut Social Security and Medicare and raise the Social Security retirement age. A millionaire lifestyle works great for Hovde, but his plans on health care are a disaster for us. Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
Think Sloan's first.
You know, the big thing about Sloan's is the ease of doing business. They make everything simple. We choose Sloan's and John Deere because we have availability of equipment, quality service, quality parts, and they have the ability to keep us up and running.
Gear up for fall savings time is on now at Sloan Implement. Get your John Deere Z530M with 1.9% for 36 months. Includes your 54-inch mowing deck.
Power up with Sloan's. Think Sloan's first.
Career politicians like Peter Barca will say anything to get elected. His latest negative ad against Brian Style, it's been called blatantly false. The truth, Style has always supported IVF. He co-sponsored a resolution supporting IVF. And Style backs legislation to help families afford IVF. Peter Barca can sling mud, but we deserve better than just another lying career politician.
I'm Brian Style, and I approve this message.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
And we continue our 3 for the People series this week with a deeper look at what impact the election may have on the U.S. involvement in the war between Israel and Hamas. Arman Rahman sat down with a political expert. And Arman, could recent developments change what candidates have been saying about this conflict?
That's right, Eric. According to the expert I spoke to, voters who may view this as an issue driving their choice may want to pay close attention to Israel's recent escalation in Lebanon. Now, last week, pagers used by hundreds of members of the militant group Hezbollah in Lebanon exploded, killing at least 25 and injuring more than 600. Israel has not officially claimed responsibility for that attack. Political science professor John Peavyhouse tells me while both Vice President Harris and former President Trump have been clear in their support for Israel, Harris has shown more concern for the death toll and humanitarian crisis in Gaza. But if Israel and Lebanon descend into war, he says both sides may try to frame this as a way to keep Iran at bay and claim they need Israel as an ally.
And that this is part of a greater kind of remaking of the Middle East. Whether they can effectively do that, the exact points they'll make will be slightly different. But I think that will be the overall takeaway, is that this gives both candidates a chance to really kind of lead past the entire thing. And in some ways, it will kind of overshadow what's going on in Gaza.
Today, Israel has launched strikes in Lebanon. Authorities say killed more than 490 people, including 90 women and children, the deadliest day of conflict since 2006. I'll let Peavyhouse break down Trump and Harris's past views and actions on the war in the Middle East tonight at 6.
Armand, thank you. A silver alert is out for a missing man from here in Dane County. The sheriff's office asking for your help in finding 65-year-old Timothy Campbell. Now take a look at your screen. He lives in a group home on Loper Road. That's in the town of Roxbury. And authorities say Saturday evening about 6:30 is the last time anyone saw Campbell. He could possibly be wearing a gray jacket and gray or red sweatpants. Dane County Sheriff's Office says he tends to leave on foot towards the Sauk City or Lodi area. If you see him, you're asked to call the Dane County Sheriff's Office. The number there, bottom of your screen, 608-284-6840. A look now at your first warn forecast. Meteorologist Blaze Keller joins us now. Blaze?
And we're, as I mentioned, tracking just a chance for an isolated, generally light to moderate shower here, especially farther south and east, not only through this evening, but into your Tuesday as well. However, we're going to watch as our temperatures climb as we say goodbye to the cloud cover and rain chances starting later Tuesday. However, we are tracking what will likely be the United States' next hurricane and how that could impact us as we go into next week. So as we step through Future Track into the morning hours on Tuesday, a lot of us farther south and east, so I would say even east of Dane County for the most part, has the best chance to squeeze out one of these light to moderate rain showers. A weak area of low pressure is spinning its way essentially just off the shoreline here. You can see those winds turning just east of Kenosha, excuse me. So that's the reason why farther east you have the better chance as we go not only overnight, but into Tuesday as well. If that center of low pressure was more into central parts of our viewing area, more of us, not only east, but west as well, maybe would squeeze out one of these showers. But as we go throughout the rest of your Tuesday, we dry out. We remain dry for the rest of the week. And then we start to see the effects of what will most likely be Helene as she becomes a possibly Category 3 hurricane by Thursday of next week. Her latest cone of uncertainty takes her back into parts of not only the Midwest, but the Great Lakes. And what's interesting is this is almost the exact same situation that happened with Francine. If you remember, she came up, but unfortunately, we had a big area of high pressure here that kept a lot of her moisture to our south. That's not the case this time, but we do continue to see a similar situation in which the jet stream gets backed up. A low pressure system will spin its way off the northeast coast and just sit there as it absorbs what is left of Helene. A little bit of her energy gets cut off from her main center of rotation in parts of the southern plains, and that moves its way north and eastward. So that's what's going to bring us our rain chances. You're seeing that big area of low pressure continuing to spin here. This area that will be affecting us if all this holds true by next weekend, this is cut off from the jet stream, which is off to our north. It's only when a system comes out of Canada that it absorbs that area of low pressure over the Great Lakes, and we start to get the jet stream moving again. So that's really going to be our next big chance for rain. And models are starting to pick up on that rain, that accumulating rain moving its way further northwards. This unfortunately only goes out to Tuesday. So if we were to be able to extend this further into Wednesday and Thursday, we'd see those increasing rain totals. But that looks to be our next real best chance for rain over the next 7 to 10 days. Tomorrow, again, farther south and east, you have that chance for an isolated shower. You can take our weather app with you. That will keep you guys updated if those showers are in your area. I don't think the kids are going to be dealing with those showers as they're heading off to school, though, which is some good news. There's a look at your 10-day forecast, flirting with the 80s Thursday and Friday.
All right, Blaze, thank you. We have just jumped over that 1,000 coat mark for our Coats for Kids campaign, and so far we are at 1,038 coats to help Dane County children all across the area. And if you have 12 days, we still have 12 days to donate your new or gently used coats or winter accessories to any Clinky Cleaners location. If you don't have any coats, we invite you to head to this story at channel3000.com to check out our Amazon wish list. You can also make a financial donation. Well, as immigration dominates the headlines in this election season, a shop in New York is selling kindness to those seeking a new life there. We'll go to New York for the story next.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
After an accident, don't say anything and don't sign anything until you talk to Gruber Law Offices.
Call us first. We'll help get you the money you deserve. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Leave the gate open, and it's chaos. Biden and Kamala opened America's gate, abandoned the Border Patrol. In came over 8 million unvetted illegals, and a fentanyl crisis endangering families.
Let's go. I'm Derek Van Orden, and after spending 26 years as a Navy SEAL, I'll do anything to protect your grandchildren and mine. I know how to defend this country. So let's secure the border and save America. I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
Like a bowl of cherries, life in Attic Angel is healthy and sweet. Our independent and assisted living lifestyles include newly renovated apartments, engaging social activities, and wellness support that is tailored to you. As time marches on, we promote the idea that life can always be a bowl of cherries. Attic Angel Community, the house that angels built.
Are undocumented immigrants that are the least likely to commit a crime.
Meet Edwin Ramos. This illegal immigrant murdered 3 Americans. An MS-13 gang member, Ramos was arrested for a gun crime, but as DA, Kamala didn't prosecute him. Months later, Ramos murdered a man and his 2 sons in cold blood.
Are undocumented immigrants that are the least likely to commit a crime.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
This election is about 2 very different visions for our nation. One focused on the future, and the other focused on the past. When the middle class is strong, America is strong. Lowering the cost of living will be a defining goal of my presidency. I'll lower the cost of insulin and prescription drugs for everyone, and I will work to pass the first ever federal ban on price gouging on food. More than 100 million Americans will get a tax cut. We will end America's housing shortage by building 3 million new homes and rentals that are affordable for the middle class. Together, we will build an economy where everyone can compete and have a real chance to succeed. Now is the time to chart a new way forward.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
After a serious accident, you'll need a winning team to protect your rights. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
You're watching News 3 Now, Act 5.
As the nation wrestles with the complex issue of immigration, a surprising shop in New York is focused on the needs of migrant families who recently arrived. Bradley Blackburn shows us how they're offering kindness with no price tag.
The streets of New York are filled with thousands of shops, but the little shop of kindness is something unique, where everything is free, most importantly, a warm welcome.
When they come into the shop, we greet them, we offer them coffee and snacks, and we guide them through the shop with a personal shopper who will treat them as a valued customer.
Ilse Thielman founded the Little Shop of Kindness 2 years ago, when buses arrived in New York filled with migrants making headlines across the country. And while others saw the complex politics, she saw people in need.
It doesn't matter to me whether people think they should be here or should not be here. They're here. They need this help, and we're going to provide it.
The nonprofit shop is open only to those who've arrived within the last 18 months. It's staffed by volunteers and filled with donations.
We have shoes, toys, toiletries, diapers for the babies.
Even surprising things like costume jewelry and cell phone cases for people from all over the world who've left everything behind.
Not only do we want to give them the necessities, we also want to give them a sense of dignity and respect and normalcy.
Since the shop opened its doors, volunteers estimate they've served more than 17,000 people, and the need isn't going away.
2 años.
Sonia Erauhu and her 2-year-old daughter Marlita recently arrived from Ecuador. She told us here they give you things from their heart.
De corazón, o sea, no te...
Unlike other places, you're not a project, you're a human being. A shop ready to help with life's needs and reminding that everyone needs kindness. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
And the Little Shop of Kindness is also a one-stop shop for other services. They connect migrant families with other resources for things like education, housing, and health care. And we're back with Blaze, a final check of the forecast after a short break.
Join Stoughton Health's Dr. Aaron Schwab on September 26th to learn about simple outpatient treatments that can alleviate varicose or spider veins. To register for the free educational talk, visit stoughtonhealth.com and click on Classes and Events.
Brian Style worked to overturn Roe v. Wade, called it a great victory.
Brian Stiles' victory banned abortion in Wisconsin, and his agenda would ban it nationwide, with surveillance of pregnancies and restricting birth control and fertility treatments. Peter Barca fights to protect our freedoms, not tear them away.
He backs Wisconsin's law enforcement, firefighters, and unions.
And Peter does what's right no matter what party it is.
I'm Peter Barca, and I approve this message.
Get an 11% rebate on everything for your bathroom update at Menards. Check out our great selection of Max shower doors, bathtubs, and shower surrounds. Right now, get this Halo Corner Shower for $2119.99 after rebate. Put the finishing touches on your bathroom with a faucet from Moen. Moen products are built to last. Get this brand new Zyla Spot Resist Brush Nickel Faucet for $97.89 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
I'm 82.
86.
90 years young.
Eric Hovde thinks people like us shouldn't be able to vote.
If you're in a nursing home, you only have 5-6 month life expectancy. Almost nobody in a nursing home is in a point to vote.
Son, I've served this country. I think I can handle a ballot.
What a jerk.
Eric Hovde, I'm fully aware of whom I'm voting for, and it won't be you.
Not everyone knows us, but in Wisconsin, Illinois, and Indiana, we are famous in our field. As a Sloan's technician, customer service is our specialty, whether you come to see us or we come to you. We are in the business of supporting your business, and we are highly trained to work on your John Deere equipment. At Sloan's, our loyalty lies with you. We depend on you, and we are proud to serve you. When it comes to service, you can count on us. Remember, think Sloan's first.
I'm not old enough to vote yet, but I learned how 1 out of 6 of us will someday be raped.
So please, think about me when you vote. I learned how our freedom to have an abortion was taken away. Even in cases of rape or incest.
Even to travel to get an abortion.
You know who got rid of Roe v. Wade. When you vote, please think about me. Because the politician who got rid of Roe v. Wade, he couldn't care less.
No more waiting to see a general surgeon. Stoughton Health can see you within a week. We accept over 160 insurances, including Dean Health Plan and Quartz. Ask for Dr. Aaron Schwab, board-certified general surgeon. Learn more at stoughtonhealth.com.
Coming up tonight on the CBS Evening News, Israel on the brink of a full-scale war with Hezbollah. Today marking the deadliest day of strikes in Lebanon since 2006. What we know about the escalating fighting and news that more American troops will head to the region. That and more headlines tonight on the CBS Evening News.
A rare painting from Belgian surrealist artist René Magritte's famous Empire of Light series could sell for more than $95 million at Christie's, New York this fall, and that price tag would break the artist's record at auction. The painting is part of a private collection that'll go up for auction in November. A Christie's spokesperson says a significant portion of the proceeds will go toward philanthropic initiatives. And Blaze is back as we take one final check of the forecast to start the week.
Kind of like what we just saw in the painting, partly sunny conditions here for the next couple of hours, but we're going to turn more cloudy as we head overnight. Farther south and east, you might be dodging a few light to moderate rain showers as we head overnight into your Tuesday. We dry out throughout the day on Tuesday, back into those upper 70s to low 80s. By Thursday, but then we could welcome in some more rain and some cooler temperatures starting Saturday, late Saturday, if not Sunday of this upcoming weekend. And if all things pan out, that cooler air mass and some rain showers could stick with us through the middle of that following week.
I was down in South Carolina over the weekend, came back, and my lawn had some greenery.
You missed it. We talked about it all
We needed
week.
it. We needed it, and now it's time to mow again.
Yes.
We're back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6. Stay tuned now for the CBS Evening News.